What's cracking, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Hammy Moto. Today, I have a very special treat for you guys. I am test riding the Aprilia RSV4 RR. This is not a full-on motorcycle review, it's just a quick little test ride that I did to get back on the horse after my accident. It is also an introduction to the new type of content I might be putting out because of course I can't do motovlogs anymore. So doing test rides or test drives of cars and motorcycles and maybe going out to a location and doing some silly stuff out there is kind of what I have in mind. I did the best job I could here, but I kind of failed at it, but nevertheless, it's just, it's gonna be in the works. So hope you guys enjoy nonetheless. Anyways, let's cut to some shots of the motorcycle with some crap music in the background. Enjoy. It's not turning on. Ah, it sounds like shit. I'm just kidding, of course. Wow, that sounds fantastic, especially being next to it. Look at that.
I'm a bird.
Oh, yes. Yes, tickle my taint. Oh, what a lovely Sunday afternoon it is. It is indeed, because I am on Moto Pilot's Aprilia RSV4. So this is my first time on a motorcycle since my accident. Moto Pilot and I have been planning to make a collaboration or do a video on each other's bikes for a long time now, and finally got around to doing it, and it just so happened to be after the biggest wreck of my life. But nevertheless, it was very kind and generous of Mr. Moto Pilot to let me make a video on his motorcycle because of just how rare and expensive this thing is. It's certainly something I would have been very cautious doing if I had a bike like this, so kudos to him, man. Make sure you guys go check out his channel and subscribe. He's a fantastic guy. Oh yes. So the Aprilia RSV4. Wait, let me lower the RPMs a little bit so I can actually speak. So the Aprilia RSV4, by far one of the most exotic motorcycles out there on the market. A lot of people say that these bikes are better than Ducatis. I wouldn't really know. I haven't ridden a lot, especially not to an extent to really make it a judgment of how they are. I think it'd be a great comparison at some point down the road. If anybody out there has a Ducati, they'd like to loan me. The RSV4 has been rated the best superbike of the year multiple times. I don't know which year, I was just told that. And a lot of guys that I know that have ridden these say that it's one of the best bikes they've ever ridden. Now, throughout the course of my YouTube channel, I have had the pleasure of riding quite a lot of motorcycles, and the first bike I would compare this to is the 2015 R1. Not only the noise, but in its power delivery. It's very raw, it's very savage, it has this deep vibration in the engine when you accelerate hard. It's such a thrill. The RSV4 is a demon when it comes to a power to weight ratio. It's knocking out 200 plus horsepower. That's not counting the modifications Moto Pilot has put into the bike, and it weighs less than a ZX6. One concern which I would have about owning a bike like this is how loud it is. Yes, it's great. It tickles you. It makes you feel like a bit more of a man. But if you decide to summon your inner Valentino Rossi and go hell for leather, everybody in the entire country can hear you doing it. Moto Pilot has put some modifications into it. He's adjusted the gearing. He put this aftermarket livery on it, the special edition livery. The riding position actually isn't as aggressive as I was expecting. It's reasonably comfortable, I have to say. I'm quite enjoying this. Oh, I love riding like an old man, just like these guys, even though that was a woman. What I can gather from the handling so far, it's very light and extremely responsive. Ah, what a lovely bike. Probably my favorite part about this bike so far isn't the performance of it. While it's fantastic, it's just a sensation that the engine gives you. You have so much feel through the front, and you feel every vibration of it, which some people won't like, for sure, but it is a performance-based bike. This isn't something you can take for long trips down to Ohio or something like this. This is a track-bred motorcycle, and that's something you have to be very acutely aware of if you are looking into this. Bro, so sexy. All right. Well, I've survived hell. Right, let's get some chicken.
Nice bike, bro.
Thanks, man. You hear that, Moto Pilot? He says it's a nice bike. Oh, damn it, I hate when that happens. You forget your camera. Does anybody else do that? It's just me. Probably is just me. I left that on there. That line was gigantic, so I said, fuck that. No amount of chicken is worth waiting in line for half an hour for. Oh, if you guys are wondering what happened to my gear after the crash, this is my glove. It's in relatively good condition. It's got some melting right there, and On here, that's pretty much it. Right, let's get this thing back to Motopilot. There is so much heat crawling up my leg right now. I think my pants are gonna burn off. I'll probably get more. Oh god, that's really hot actually. There's so much engine heat coming off this bike. I'm pretty sure it's contributing to global warming. This Aprilia is single-handedly responsible for killing all the polar bears. So as my ride comes to an end, one thing which I can definitely conclude about this RSV4, it lives up to its hype. That is for certain. Although I definitely have not taken it anywhere near to its limits to really fully understand what this bike is about, I certainly can see why people are obsessed with the RSV4.
Alright, so the Aprilia RSV4, what did I like and what did I not like about it? The first big upside to owning this bike is the out-of-the-box adjustability. Firstly, I wouldn't touch any of this stuff even if I knew what a wrench was, but you can even adjust the position of the engine and the chassis. That's how in-depth this adjustability is. Certainly, if you're into that sort of thing, this is a perfect motorcycle to really customize it to the way you like to ride. Comfort and low-speed handling. I was honestly expecting the sensation of riding a boulder on a trampoline like you do with most superbikes. I was very pleasantly surprised with how relaxed this bike felt. It doesn't force all your weight down as if trying to position you for a 100-meter sprint in the Olympics. It's definitely not quite as comfortable as a Gixxer or even the S1000RR, but it's definitely more tolerable than a new R1, which is a bike I can closely compare this to. And also an added benefit to a good riding position is easy low-speed handling. And of course, probably the best thing about this bike, and maybe the biggest reason why people actually buy these, is the drama of the bike. It seems a little bit cliche now to talk about how an Italian's motorcycle's attention to detail or the way it makes you feel is important, but it really does. The way it looks, the way it sounds, it's all set up in a concoction to really make you feel like you're riding something very special. And that's what the Aprilia ultimately feels like. It feels like a very special motorcycle. It certainly adds to what I said earlier about how a lot of people that ride this bike say it's the best bike they've ever ridden. I'm not gonna say it's the best bike I've ever ridden, but certainly in the top 5. Now let's talk about what I didn't like about the bike. This bike brings the heat. Sprinting through Death Valley while strapped to a blow dryer with a 5-star wanted level is less heat than this engine produces on a warm day. That being said, most superbikes do have this issue because there's a big fairing covering the engine, so the heat has to get out somehow. But man, it was very noticeable on this bike. Hey, do you like gas mileage? Fuck you. And finally, probably the biggest letdown to this Aprilia is the running costs. You know that overwhelming amount of pain you get when you slam your shit into the corner of a coffee table? Well, that's the same pain you get when you look at the maintenance bill on one of these. As far as I know, most modern exotic bikes are far less problematic than they used to be, so just good maintenance and being a responsible rider should keep the cash monkey out of your wallet. But hey, for some people that's probably part of the experience they actually enjoy. They just enjoy the pain. You know what? I bet your Motopilot has piercings on his nipples. Alright, you bunch of scallywags, that's my thoughts on the Aprilia RSV4RR. Big thanks to Motopilot again for letting me use this bike. We've been planning on doing this test ride for I don't even know how long, so it felt really good to finally get around to doing it. So if you want to know more about this bike, make sure you all check out Motopilot's channel. Alright, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm going on vacation for the next 2 weeks, but while I'm down there, I will be doing some recording, so you have that to look forward to. Alrighty then dudes, thank you so much for watching. See you all next time. Hey Morpheus, how you doing, bro? Yeah, I've got a bit of a problem. There's a bunch of hammies coming out of the closet. Oh, ha. No, seriously, what do I do about this? That easy, huh? Sounds good to me. Hey, tell the other guy not to come in.